welcome back to Clues, Crimes, and Cozy Times, the podcast where you get access to all of CJ Bellvue's mystery files. For free. I'm Thea Graves, host of Factor Fright, and this is Percy. Tonight's investigation takes us to the historic Norwood Inn, where social media influencer Sabrina Sperling ended up taking a walk to a morgue instead of down the aisle. The official story is suicide. The locals say murder. Who's right? Let's find out.
Deadly Ever After. The Boo Files, Book 1, written by CJ Bellvue, read for you by 11 Labs.
Chapter 3. Declan takes in the room in one sweep. The dead music, the dimmed lamp, glitter still drifting. He catches my eye, then looks at Sabrina. "We'll give you a minute," I say. Declan waits until the door settles behind us before he speaks.
Okay.
He says.
What actually happened?
I lean back against the wallpapered wall, which smells faintly of lemon cleaner and old wood. Lights went out. A voice said, "You'll be sorry." Then the balcony doors opened.
And Hadley?
He asks. I shake my head, clicking my tongue. She and Sabrina were already circling each other before the lights went out. I say. Apparently the inn is up for sale soon, and it was all Sabrina's idea. I fill him in as we move.
Sounds like Sabrina was trying to humiliate her.
He says. She was.
Why?
Because she could. He exhales through his nose.
That tracks.
The lobby lights are dimmed when we reach the bottom. The chandelier throws warm circles across the rug. Gus is still hovering near the coffee station like caffeine is a moral support system. Daniel and Raymond Lewis are in the far corner near the bar, not drinking exactly, just occupying the space with the comfortable authority of men who are used to occupying spaces. Raymond has his jacket off, draped over the chair back, sleeves rolled once at the wrist. He's talking, low and easy, the body language of someone finishing a thought he started at dinner. Daniel sits across from him, one ankle crossed over his knee, glass in hand. He hasn't touched the drink in the time I've been watching. His eyes move across the lobby at intervals, door, staircase, front desk, with the patient rhythm of someone who is listening to his father and also tracking everything else. They look like what they are, a father and son waiting out the evening while the women sort things. I look away. Near the bar, Tiffany perches on a stool beside Jessica, both of them still in their rehearsal dinner dresses. Jessica has her phone up, of course she does, panning slowly across the lobby like she's composing a shot. Tiffany is saying something I can't catch, one hand wrapped around a glass of something sparkling, the other adjusting the clasp of her bracelet with the slightly distracted energy of someone whose mind is elsewhere. Then she checks her phone. Whatever she sees there, her expression doesn't change, but she slides off the stool, sets her glass down with deliberate care, and murmurs something to Jessica. Jessica nods without lowering the camera. Tiffany crosses the lobby at an angle that takes her away from both the staircase and the front desk, toward the side corridor where the old parlor and the inn's back exit sit behind their respective closed doors. Jessica keeps filming. I watch Tiffany go and file it away. At the base of the staircase, half hidden behind the newel post, Ariella and Becca stand close enough together that the conversation is clearly not meant to carry. I catch the shape of it without the content. Becca's jaw set, arms folded across her chest, Ariella's posture inward, one hand pressed flat against the wall beside her. They're not fighting. It's something quieter and more damaging than fighting. It's the kind of exchange that happens when two people have been holding something back all night, and one of them has finally run out of patience for holding. Ariella shakes her head once, sharp. Becca says something. Ariella's hand drops from the wall and she moves past Becca and up the stairs without another word, close enough that her shoulder almost brushes mine as she passes. Neither of them looks at me. Behind the desk, Wendy Norwood, the owner, and Hadley's mom, and Hadley are in the middle of something that is very clearly not about housekeeping schedules. Wendy heaves a long sigh.
"We need this exposure,"
she says.
"Bookings are down. Renovations aren't cheap."
"Exposure won't matter if you sell out anyway."
Hadley shoots back.
"And it doesn't fix what she's doing to people."
Wendy's brows knit together.
"Is this about Cam?"
Hadley nods once.
"He came up here in October."
Hadley says.
"To check out the venue. We ended up talking. One thing led to another."
Her voice tightens, but she doesn't look away.
"It was a mistake. He said he was going to tell her. He swore he would.
And you believed him? Wendy asks.
Yes.
The answer is immediate. Too immediate to be a lie.
And you confirmed it.
Wendy says.
I didn't mean to.
Hadley snaps.
She kept needling. About the inn, about the sale, about how she was the one who brought Daddy into it.
Wendy blinks.
Excuse me?
Hadley turns toward her fully now.
She said it was her idea, that she pitched the inn to him, that without her, there wouldn't even be talks.
Wendy's composure cracks for the first time.
That's not how business works.
Firing back. Isn't it?
Hadley fires back.
You told me it came through his office, that it was a mutual opportunity. You never said she planted the seed.
It doesn't matter who mentioned it first.
Wendy says, but there's strain in her voice now.
It was a sensible proposal. We need the money. You know that.
I know that.
Hadley says, and now the anger shifts into something more wounded.
But you let me think it was your decision. Or his. Not hers.
It was my decision.
Wendy insists.
Whether she floated the idea or not, I evaluated it. I considered it. I chose to move forward.
Without telling me.
I didn't think the origin story mattered.
It mattered to me.
Hadley's voice drops.
She said I was trying to blow up her life, that I'd been jealous since high school.
Wendy inhales sharply.
Jealous?
She thinks everything is about her.
And you? I ask. Hadley's mouth presses thin.
Quietly ashamed. I shouldn't have said it. I know that. But she kept going on about how she'd saved this place, like we owed her. Like my mom would be nothing without her father's money.
Her jaw tightens.
She was making me so mad.
Wendy closes her eyes for a moment.
We are not selling because of pride, Hadley. We are selling because of numbers. The roof alone.
I know.
Hadley says quietly.
I know.
Upstairs, a door slams. All four of us glance toward the stairwell. Hadley shoots me an expectant look, as if I'm the caretaker of all things spooky. Sorry, folks, my brand is investigating phony ghosts, not offering emotional therapy. I glance at Declan. He tilts his head at the stairs.
We should, pack up the gear and get out of her hair.
He whispers. I cringe. Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that. Declan presses a finger to his lips as we approach the suite door. Through the thin door, Sabrina's muffled voice emerges, tight with desperation.
Come on, pick up.
A rustle.
Cam, it's me again. Please call me back.
A pause, then
I need to talk to you about Hadley. Why aren't you answering?
another beat.
Call me, please. The wedding's in
She must check her phone.
11 hours.
There's a heavy silence, then a dull thud. Maybe she flings the phone at a pillow, or maybe it hits the wall, hard to say. We catch a faint sound of muffled crying. My stomach drops. She's calling her fiancé. I tug on Declan's sleeve. Maybe we should come back later, I hiss. Declan frowns and shakes his head.
Wish we could, but if we're gonna get the footage on time, those night shots?
I sigh. Then we need that equipment. He knocks once, firm but not aggressive. The crying stops. A shuffle inside.
What?
Sabrina calls.
It's us.
Declan says.
Just grabbing the last of the gear.
A pause. Then,
Fine.
I open the door slowly. The lights are on this time, but dim. Sabrina hovers near the foot of the bed. Her once amusing tiara is gone. Her hair is a frazzled tumble around her shoulders. Mascara tracks cut down through glitter. Her face is blotchy, eyes brimming with something that could be fear or fury, maybe both.
What are you doing in here?
She demands, spotting us.
I thought you were a ghost hunting show, not the crew of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. You don't need my emotional breakdown on your B-roll.
We're not filming. I say evenly. Declan gestures to the light stand near the window.
Just cleaning up.
She laughs once. It doesn't land.
Great. Clean up. That's fitting.
Her phone buzzes in her hand. She glances down at it, hope flashing across her face and dying just as quickly. Still not answering? I ask before I can stop myself. She glares at me. Then her shoulders sag.
No.
She says.
You should get some sleep.
Declan says. Sabrina stares at him like the concept is offensive.
I'm getting married in 11 hours.
Yes,
He says.
exactly.
She presses her lips together, swallowing whatever response she had queued up. I gather the last of the mic cables. Declan lifts the stand base. When we reach the door, she says, quieter.
Don't use any of tonight.
We won't.
Declan replies, but I don't promise anything. We leave her standing at the foot of the bed, staring at her dark phone screen. That night, emergency lighting casts everything in sickly amber, shadows pooling in corners like spilled ink. Declan rolls our mid-tier rig on a squeaky dolly while I carry the infrared camera. The inn breathes differently at this hour, slower, deeper, the particular exhale of a building that has stopped performing for its guests and reverted to something older and less hospitable. I pace backward, framing him. Fact or fright, Norwood Inn, nocturnal sweep. We pass the oak sideboard. An empty seltzer can clatters when I nudge it. The sound ricochets like a guilty conscience.
You sure we're alone?
Declan asks. Unless the dust bunny's unionized. Halfway down the hall, the cracked mirror hangs crooked. Declan clocks it through the viewfinder. We're nearing the bridal suite when I hear a faint click of an old door latch releasing under careful hands. Declan stops and looks at me. I hold up one finger. Slowly, we slink around the corner. The administrative office sits at the corridor's end, behind a door marked Private in faded brass letters. It's ajar. A thin line of light cuts through the gap. I position myself at the angle that gives me the clearest sightline without opening the door further. Sabrina. She's barefoot. Her hair is loose and uncombed, still crimped where the pins came out. She's wearing the rose gold pajamas from earlier, and she looks, without the performance apparatus, startlingly young. She stands before the far wall where the inn's framed historical documents hang. Certificates, deeds, photographs. She lifts one of the frames from its hook and snaps a photo. I ease the IR camera up and zoom. The document is old, covered in formal cursive on yellowed paper. There's a notary seal at the bottom right. Property and associated holdings transferred in full to E.L. Stanton, executor, dated September 4th, 1893. I lower the camera slowly. Declan is watching the screen, and from the set of his jaw, he's read the same line I have. Sabrina replaces the frame and steps back. Then she moves to the desk and riffles through it. The central drawer slides open without protest. She lifts out a cloth-bound ledger with a cracked spine. She bites her lip, glances around to make sure she won't be caught, then cracks it open and begins turning pages. A few minutes later, the color drains from her face. Her eyes go wide. She slaps a hand over her mouth to stifle something, maybe a gasp, maybe a curse, then snaps the ledger closed and practically shoves it back in the drawer before reaching for her phone. She hits a few buttons, and a shrill ring echoes through the corridor. Declan and I go very still. It rings twice, 3 times. Then,
Cam.
her voice is low, stripped of everything that usually lives in it, the performance, the brightness, the weaponized warmth. Just the word, flat and precise.
Flat and precise. Tell me this isn't true.
A pause. His response is inaudible.
Don't do that. I need you to tell me to my face. Tomorrow, before the ceremony.
Her jaw works.
If you can't do that, then we don't have a ceremony.
Before he can respond, she ends the call. With a deep exhale, she cradles the phone against her sternum, eyes closed, and my heart goes out to her. She looks so completely unlike the cheerful, over-enthusiastic bride-to-be who was shrieking karaoke 4 hours ago. I glance at Declan. He opens his mouth but doesn't have time to reply before Sabrina's voice echoes through the hall.
Sneaking up on guests?
She says.
Bold strategy.
We jump and spin around, and I mentally kick myself when I realize Sabrina has already exited the office. We weren't trying to sneak up on anyone, I say. We were just filming some overnight B-roll for the episode. I raise a brow and glance at the office door still ajar, though we've all moved into the hall now.
I couldn't sleep.
She folds her arms, composure back in place, easy as a coat she just shrugged on.
I wanted to know more about Hester.
She nods at the framed documents on the wall.
Wendy keeps the actual records in here.
She spares us a small, practiced smile.
Turns out the legend has layers.
Find anything useful?
Declan asks. Sabrina shrugs.
Mostly property transfers and maintenance invoices. Nothing you'd put in a ghost tour.
She straightens, reclaims her phone from the desk.
I'm going back to bed.
She crosses to the stairs, bare feet silent on the parquet. Declan and I press back against the wall as she passes. We wait until her footsteps fade toward the stairs.
Think we should follow her?
Declan asks. I frown, then shake my head. No, she's been through a lot tonight. If she knew that Wendy kept the official documents in here, she must have had permission to see them. Whatever she was looking for, I don't think it's any of our business. Now, come on, we still need footage of the parlor. The parlor is colder than the hallway, which shouldn't be possible given that the hallway has 2 exterior walls and the parlor has none. The chandelier hangs overhead in the dark, massive, brass-armed, crystals catching the infrared light and throwing it back in fractured geometries. I sweep the EMF reader across the room in a slow arc. Near the chandelier's base, the reading climbs. Not dramatically, not the spike you get near active electrical interference or the kind of genuine anomaly that makes Declan reach for his second camera. Just a steady hum, slightly above baseline, persistent across 3 separate passes. Old wiring, I say.
Probably.
Declan agrees, in the tone he uses when he means something else. I angle the IR lens upward. The mounting bracket sits where it sat earlier tonight. Corroded, rust-eaten, the main support chain dulled with the particular orange of metal that has been stressed and ignored in equal measure. A hairline crack traces the plaster around the bolt plate, pale and fresh against the aged ceiling. Declan lowers the EMF reader and looks at the chandelier for a moment longer than the shot requires.
You know what this place reminds me of?
Don't.
I was going to say the Ashford Hotel.
You were going to say it's haunted.
Same thing.
He caps the reader.
Ready to head back up?
We kill the parlor lights and move back toward the main staircase. The amber emergency lighting swallows our footsteps. We're nearing the bridal suite. Door dull gold, plaque proclaiming Stanton honeymoon in cursive. I zoom on the plaque. There's an impact from behind the door, like a sandbag hitting linoleum. Declan freezes. The camera wavers.
Please tell me that was a shoe.
High heels qualify as blunt instruments. He leans closer, ear nearly to the wood. A faint metallic clatter answers, something falling, rolling.
Sabrina?
He calls.
You good in there?
Silence. He knocks again, louder.
Sabrina?
Only the corridor's draft replies curling cold against my collar. I grasp the knob and twist. It turns. Unlocked. Typical Sabrina, trusting the world to admire her too much to rob her. She's going to scream invasion of privacy. Declan hums.
She can sue us after she thanks us.
I push it open. The door protests with a drawn-out squeal, hinges starved of oil. The air smells of stale champagne, burnt dust, and something coppery underlying, like pennies left in rain. Declan flips the IR lamp to full. Green lumens flood the suite. Ghost color. Everything becomes neon chartreuse and black.
Sweep the room.
He whispers. Copy. I pan left. The chaise lounge is empty, clutter of half-flattened pillows and a crumpled sash. Shadows pool under the vanity, its cracked mirror reflecting a stuttered, insectoid version of the room. Declan steps in with the camera tight to his shoulder. His breath fogs. The balcony doors are open. Wind stirs the curtains. A slender shape lies near the open doorway, half in the room, half on the threshold to the balcony. Sabrina. She's on her back, one arm flung out. Her other hand is at her throat, fingers curled in the fabric wrapped around her neck. The veil. Twisted tight like a rope, embedded deep in her skin. Her face is purple, eyes bulging, mouth open in a silent scream. But it's the staging that stops my breath. The lamp has been knocked over. The heavy base lies shattered beside her, fragments scattered. Her legs are positioned like she fell, but the veil, The veil runs from her throat to the balcony railing, tied there, taut, like she hanged herself, just like Hester. That's all for now, but this case isn't closed just yet. Join me next time as we continue to unravel this case, one clue at a time. Until then, trust the evidence, question the impossible, and remember, every ghost has a story. Good night, and I'll see you in the next investigation.